Dynaudio in Denmark, so we make the large speakers. I was involved in the project of making these speakers as well as all the other speakers you're seeing out here, basically. So, what this speaker is, like I think you briefly mentioned, is a limited edition speaker we've created. It's basically a celebration of some previous speakers we made in the 90s, but also of the craftsmanship, the way we build speakers in Skanderborg, Denmark. As you will see, the way we build our drivers and cabinets, but especially the drivers, is very similar across our ranges, from the cheapest to the most expensive models. It's the same type of tweeter, it's the same type of woofer, as you can see in the studio monitors outside, but also goes for them as well. And actually, the tweeter here is exactly the same as the one we have in our top-of-the-line model, and also in our top-of-the-line studio monitors. It's the same tweeter used. So, just a brief walkthrough of what the speaker is. This is the Esotar 3 tweeter. If you know our drivers from the DIY days, in the old days, an Esotar T330 was kind of the top shelf tweeter you could get. And this looks like a T330, but it's actually updated on the inside with the best technologies we have. The woofers come from an Evidence Platinum, our previous top-of-the-line model, but again updated, more powerful magnets, and optimized specifically for this speaker. So we never really use the same woofer in different speakers. We always optimize it specifically for each speaker, which we can do because we design and manufacture everything completely in-house in Denmark. The cabinet is American walnut veneer, pretty sustainably sourced. The main thing to mention about it is, that the way it's lacquered means that you can really feel the natural wood. It's about craftsmanship. You can really see it's natural wood. Each pair will be different. They are pair matched, so left and right will match, but your pair will not necessarily match what the neighbor is getting. Just briefly about the crossover, that's really where the magic happens in a loudspeaker. The crossover in this one is what we call a 2.5-way crossover, which shortly means that the top woofer plays both mid-range and bass, but the lower one only plays bass. There's some deeper reasons for that I'm not going to get into because I want to play some music as well. But in this crossover, it's a fairly simple crossover, but very high-end components. We have capacitors from both Mundorf and the Danish company Duelund as well. In this one, if you know Duelund, that's fairly expensive components. That's the type of components you're seeing here. And then the last thing I want to mention, if you look at the speaker, it's a very slim profile. There's no outrigger feet. Most speakers today, you see these feet sticking out.
It's a new song.
Still can't wait. Today you have some fairly rigid safety standards. You have to make sure that the speaker doesn't tip over and kill your cat or something. So we of course want to follow these safety regulations. But how do you do that without having these feet sticking out? Basically you add weight to the bottom. So what we have here is 19 pounds of cast iron that we bolted onto the bottom of the speaker, which means it doesn't tip over, and of course it also helps the sound, and it gives a more stable foundation for the speaker. It's just an example of the build quality that is built into the speaker. It's a very heavy, very dense speaker with just the top shelf components we could find for the speaker. Someone before mentioned, asked about the price, and I only have the euro price in my head. So what was it?
10,200.
10,200.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Do you see these remaining as limited editions, or do you think there's any chance of them going into wider production?
Not as they are here. So what we do in the future, who knows? But the idea currently is we make 1,000 of these. It's part of what we call the Heritage Collection. So before this we had a Heritage Special, which was a compact version. We did that in 2,500 samples. And this one we're making in 1,000 samples. And at least that's the plan. So what to do with that collection in the future, we'll have to see. It's been very popular. From us to dealers, this speaker was sold out in 2 days in Munich. So before the show was over, that all the dealers had pre-ordered all 1,000 pairs. That means that only 50 pairs will be coming to the UK, and about half of those are sold already to end users. And we're still manufacturing them, so we'll be shipping them over the next coming months. So there's still 25-30 pairs out there available for sale. And once they are gone, this speaker is not available. Not as it stands here.
So,
the bit that I did say.
so to ask a very delicate question, why are you showcasing these if they're going to be very difficult to get hold of?
Right, look, I'll take this one. The reason is that our retailers put a great deal of faith in buying 5 or 10 pairs of these at £10,000 a time. And I want to be able to support our retailer network because they've got cash flow that they're buying products and we want to sell them through. And what happened when I took them in for reviews, we ended up with the reviews saying they're all sold. So what ended up happening is that the customers weren't contacting the dealers asking about them because they made the assumption they were all sold. So I wanted to just make sure that people could see that A, they get a chance to listen to them because that's really important. And it adds to the history of what Dynaudio is all about. What I was saying, this is a hark back from a previous classic. So the story is still important, but I wanted to make sure that we supported our retailer network so that they could see more customers having a chance to listen to them. Because so far, apart from the customers who have bought them, the only people who have heard them is us and the reviewers, nobody else. A lot of the retailers haven't even heard them because they only went to 7 retailers in the UK. So we want people to hear what they are, because that's important to us as well. And the whole thing about this is that we don't really go to a show to sell a product. We go to talk about who Dynaudio is, what we do, what our values are, and then it's for you to discover that when you go to retailers afterwards. This is why we kind of do things slightly differently. So for instance, I won't be playing you a prescribed list of music. What we'll do is play a couple of tracks, and then you guys can ask for whatever music you want to listen to, whether it's on record or whether it's on any streaming. So yeah, that's what we like to do. And obviously you come back time and time again, so if you want to hear something in one room and you thought that sounded really good, if you want to come back, just ask for it, we play it here. So that's that. Good. Normally, it's either too loud for the people at the front or it's too quiet for the people at the back. So I'll start off with something that's relatively simple. Afterwards you can tell me whether it sounds okay and whether or not it's too loud. And we'll just adjust from there, okay? And if you want really loud, at the end of the day, it gets a bit mental at that point.
So I'll leave the music to Bill, and then I'll be standing outside if you have more technical questions. You can reach me.
Right, and I better get back to a sensible thing. Thanks, Otto. Right. There's a delay on everything at the moment for some weird reason. Right, this is Neil Young from a recording made in Massey Hall in 1971, so it's quite a old recording. It was about 6 or 9 months before he released the Harvest album. So, and what's really strange is some of his most famous... Do you want to take a corner seat? Because otherwise we're blocking everything and nobody can hear anything. And everybody gets into the door, pokes their head round, listens to 10 seconds, and then wanders off. So, yeah, just pop through. Yeah. So, as I say, this is Neil Young from 1971. The album Harvest came out a few months later, but most of these songs were actually on Harvest. So, but as they're some of his most famous songs, it's weird when he starts playing that nobody recognises the songs, which of course they won't. But this is 1971.
It's a new song that I wrote about my ranch. I live on a ranch now. Lucky me. I never should have started playing with that thing.
Thank you.
There's this old man who lives on it that he came with the place when I bought it, you know, like they have ranches have foremans, you know, usually sort of like stays there with the cows no matter who owns it. He's about 70 years old or something like that. My life, I'm a lot like you were. my life. 24 and there's so much more. Live alone in a paradise that makes me think of two. Love lost such a cost. Give me things that don't get lost, like a coin that won't get tossed, rolling home to you. Oh man, take a look at my life, I'm a lot like you. I need someone to love me the whole day through. One look in my eyes and you can tell that's true.
Probably a bit too quiet and miserable for the first thing on a Friday morning. Sorry about that. I'll just play stuff with the playlist rather than doing that. And then while I'm doing it, I'm going to hand the iPad round, and you can, if anyone wants to choose something, we'll just play whatever you want to play. I'm having problems with the iPad though. It seems to not do something, and then 2 minutes later it then starts doing it. So I'm using my phone at the moment for that. Right, I'll just play this.
Oh man, take a look at my life, I'm a lot.
Mama, look at my life. This is a lonely journey. Mama, let's try it another time, 'cause I can't carry on right now. Please make my day. Too much abuse as I see. Too much desire in between. We'll make it through. That's what we do. Mama, hear you cry. All this anger I put aside. My tears, I know, won't beat the rivers in your eyes. And with all my love, I will make them dry. Yes, with all my love, and with all my love, I will make them dry. Yes, with all my